about? Instead of me telling you, why don't we just take a look back in our notes exactly I'm talking about? We did a bunch of these on page, I know we did. Page 12 to 13. All right, so if you want to look on page 12 to 13 right now, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, pages 12 to 13. Everyone see I marked triangles, marking, and you had to tell me if it was possible or not and by what method. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about in numbers 1 through 6. A reminder, just so there's no confusion tomorrow. There are two things that I will never mark on the diagram, but you're expected to mark on your own. Those two things, one showing up here, which is what? I'll never mark I will never mark a reflexive side. That's on you. And the other thing I will never mark is, what's up here? Vertical angle. So please keep that in mind. Well, you didn't mark it. I'll never mark it. All right, I'll never mark a reflexive side or vertical angles. That's on you guys. Good? And then not possible could be a way. Those are your only 4 options. No. If the angle's not in between, write not possible. Okay? Do not make up. You only have 4 reasons. That's it. Don't start making up new ones tomorrow. All right? Please don't start making up new ones. Okay? Everyone always thinks this quiz is all about proofs. Day 1 and 2, we did no proofs at all. Days 1 and 2. Day 1 dealt with the interior angle, like naming a triangle. How many degrees are in a triangle? 180. All right. So different. We'll do different things, and that's in any triangle, right? 180. 180. 180. 180. Okay. Any triangle has 180. I don't care if it's a triangle within one. 180 degrees everywhere. What do I mean by number 4? Triangle exterior angle theorem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Angle 1 is equal to what 2 angles added up? The remote interiors, 3 and 4. Okay, so keep that in mind for tomorrow. I say a review question from Unit 3. There's going to be a question that deals with parallel lines, but something somehow has to do with the interior angles. Okay, so just the heads up there, there's going to be a parallel lines question, but it's still a question about angles of a triangle. And then 2 proofs at the end. Okay, 2 proofs. Nothing harder than what I've already given you. Okay, I'm not here to grill you on the proofs, but it's not going to be any harder than what we've already done. Friday, you guys signed up for Delta Math. If you weren't here on Friday, I'll get that info to you after I'm done with the notes. Tonight's homework is not due until Wednesday. Okay, not due until Wednesday because I want your sole focus to be on this quiz tomorrow. Any questions or comments? Quarter ends. Quarter 1 is done, over next Thursday. Why am I telling you that? I don't think anybody owes any quizzes or tests, but if you have any 0 A's in Aspen because you were absent and weren't able to show me the homework, those are all due and need to be in by next Thursday. Okay? And you show me those on your own. All right, you ready? Let's do it. Day 6, which is not on the quiz. Day 6, not on the quiz. But it is going to be great practice for the proofs on the quiz tomorrow. Number 1. Everyone see I'm giving you 2 triangles. Triangle WIS, and I'm giving you a triangle EUP, and I'm telling you they're congruent to each other. Wait, he didn't give us a diagram. Should I draw one? No, we don't need a diagram. We don't need a diagram here. What I'm going to ask is the following. What I want right now is give me the 3 pairs of sides that are congruent in those triangles. Well, I need a diagram to see. No, you don't. No, you don't. Why? I wrote that in the specific order so you could match up the sides. All right, so give me a pair of sides right now that are congruent to each other, that correspond to each other. All right, give me a pair of sides that correspond to each other. Ones will give me a pair of sides. WI congruent to EU. Thank you. They correspond and they're congruent. Another pair for me, please. Let's keep this train rolling. 4, Doyle. Yep, congruent to UP. Good work. And then the final pair here. Going 6, Thomas. Yep, WS and EP. Don't need a diagram. Not only do the sides correspond, but so do the angles. So now let's turn our attention to the angles. And you guys can just name these with a single letter now for me. Name it by a single letter. 1-4, Gianna. W congruent to E. Good work. Another pair of angles for me, please. Let's talk here. 10, Matt.
S and P.
S and P. Good work. And 10 again, Matt. The final pair.
I and U.
I and U. Yep. All right. I have a question for everybody before I move on to this proof. I understand where you got the sides and the angles from because you just looked at the letters and we're like, up, first and third, match it up with the first and third. What gave me the right, though, to put the congruent symbols in between? I know how they. I know why. What matches up with what and why, but what makes them congruent? Because what would we already know? The triangles are congruent. All right. The corresponding parts are congruent because the triangles are. All right, and that's the only time they are. I need to know the triangles are congruent before the parts are congruent, and that's today's topic. Because look at the first proof I'm asking you to do. Everyone, just look at the proof statement. Look at the proof statement. Am I asking you to prove triangles congruent? No. What am I asking you to prove? A pair of angles. Find those angles on the diagram for me right now, please. Find those angles on the diagram. ACD and BCD. Do you see how they match up? Okay. I'm not going to get those two angles congruent unless I do what first? Get the angles won't be congruent unless the triangles are. Okay? So bottom line, here's what we're going to do today, guys. We're going to take our triangle proofs we've been doing for the past 2 days and make them one step longer. But you can't do anything unless you show me why the triangles are congruent. That's the first part. Help me get the triangles congruent. So I got CA congruent to CB. And I had D as the midpoint of AB. All right. I'm giving you a pair of sides, so that's why I'm going to put an S there. I'm giving you guys a pair of sides. What else can you find for me now? All right, I need 2 more pair of something here, right? You always need 3 pair. I only have 1, so help me out. What else is true in this diagram? 1, 3. Ksenia, go ahead. There you go. Got the old reflexive. Good work. And there's 2 sides down. Anybody got another pair for me? Got another pair of something there, Charlie?
AD and DB.
Good. Correct. AD congruent to DB. And let me go to somebody else now. Why is that correct? 6. Thomas, why is that correct?
Definition of midpoint.
Yep, good. I had a midpoint here. Don't write the word bisector. It's midpoint. All right, that gives me another side, so it looks like I have enough. First thing I need, what's the method? Don't tell me what triangles yet. What's the method why they're congruent? What's my method? 1, 5. Gabby, what's my method? Yep, side, side, side. Good. Now, unfortunately, it was convenient the last couple of days because you would just look at the proof statement and copy it. But now you have to make your own triangle statement. Make sure the sides and angles match up. I'm going to be looking for that on the test next week. All right, make sure the triangle sides and angles match up. So give me your own congruent statement right now. Take your time. Doyle, when you're ready.
Triangle ACD is
Good. Hey, everybody, correct, but not the only one, right? There's multiple ways depending on how you name the first one. All right, now here comes the new stuff for today. If the triangles are congruent, so are all the corresponding angles and sides now. All right, everything's congruent if the triangles are, which they are. So now I can say ACD now is congruent to BCD. And here's our new reason. Everybody ready? These are, ready? These two are corresponding. And I'm going to use the word parts because it could be angles or sides we're showing. So they are corresponding parts in what type of triangles? Congruent triangles. They are corresponding parts in congruent triangles, and they are congruent. Don't move on yet. I got good news. This will be the last time you have to write that at this point. We do have an acronym. All right. And I'm just putting it in brackets. You don't have to put it in brackets when you write it. Corresponding parts in congruent triangles are congruent. Let that roll off the tongue a couple times, huh? CPCTC. 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 One more time, sure. CPCTC. I do have a slight requirement though. If you're going to use it and you don't want points taken off, it's got to be in the correct order. All right, it can't be CTPHIJKL, whatever. All right, it's got to be in that order. Okay, so if you're going to use it, make sure it's correct. Questions? But again, this can only be used after the triangles are congruent. It is not a method either. Oh, all right, let's go. Oh, look at the proof statement. SQ and a PR. That won't be true unless the triangles are congruent. Remember that. I need triangles congruent before the parts are congruent. So let's see. Can you get it? This one is. I should eliminate this. This is not even close to honors level, this one. You're welcome. You're welcome for those givens. 2 pairs of angles already. So now all you have to do is find another pair. And we know it's not going to be another pair of angles, right? We just went over that at the beginning of class. Angle, angle, angle. Oh, I'm going to blow a gasket if I see that. All right. Where's the side then that I need? Where's the side in this diagram? 1, 2. Olivia, where's the side? Yeah, you got it. Everyone loves a good old reflexive, right? Nice and easy. Little S there. You do have a bigger decision now. Is it angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle, right? Again, from Friday, cover up, take your hand, pencil, whatever, cover up one of the triangles for me and see if that side's in between. You cannot look at both triangles at the same time. You need to look at one triangle only. So you're looking at PQS or you're looking at PRS and see if that side's in between or not. Okay? Don't look at both at the same time. Only look at one only. Everyone got a decision what the method is? Okay, which one of the twos are going to be here? Oh, 1, 3, yeah, what do you have? Good job. That side is not in between. Okay, it's not in between. And now, how about a good congruent statement from somebody else? Josh, triangle, when you're ready.
Triangle RPS.
Yep.
Is congruent to triangle QS.
see, QP and R. Yep, I'm good with that one. Correct, but not the only one. And now, again, now that the triangles are congruent, we could say any of the corresponding parts are, but in this case, we're looking at SQ and PR. CPCTC, with the letters correct in the correct order. Questions from you guys? Going? We're all good? Okay, one more. And the only reason I'm going to do this one with you is now there's multiple triangles in the diagram. So what do I do when there's multiple? How do I know what two you want congruent, right? We have to talk about that. Can everyone just go immediately to the proof statement? The proof statement will tell you what two triangles you need to prove congruent. So everyone, ABI and ACI. Find those angles and you found the triangles that you need. There's only two triangles that contain those angles. Everyone see them? So we're going to end up proving, let's see, triangle ABI congruent to triangle ACI. So it's going to be those two. Okay, we got to prove those two triangles congruent. All right, how are we going to do it? Let's figure that out. Let's mark everything and write it in. All good? All right, I got a pair of sides. Name something else I can use because we need two more pair here. Two more pair. One's, Will, give me something else.
Angle. Sorry.
It's all right.
Angle BAI is congruent to angle CAI.
Great job. You picked the tougher pair. Respect. You picked the tougher of the two. Angle BAI congruent to CAI. Definition of bisects. Respect. Congruent. All right, two down, one to go. Where's the other pair of congruent sides or angles in this diagram? 1, 3, Castinia, back to you. Everyone loves a good old reflexive, like I said earlier. Don't want to give that away. Method first. Why are the two triangles congruent before I ask for a statement? Method 1-5. Gabby, why are these triangles congruent? Side angle side. Excellent. And then how about a good congruent statement that matches up all those parts? Let's go 5 spot. Haley? Yep. Yep, good. And finally, angle ABI is now congruent to angle ACI, CPCTC. Before you go on your own, let's just make sure CPCTC will not be on your quiz tomorrow, so don't even think about writing it down anywhere. It's not on there. This is where your quiz stops as far as the proof goes. Now you have two options I'll give you. You can start the homework that's due on Wednesday because those are good practice for proofs. You just have a CPCTC at the end. Or you can go on to Delta Math and practice there. All right, your call. All right, I'm going to let you go either way you want. Gianna, was there anybody else not here Friday? Okay, yeah, did you use Delta Math last year? No, okay. Let me just get the codes up.